Okay, we do the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, call the meeting to order and do a roll call, please.
Trustee Lopez?
Here.
Trustee McMahon? Trustee Lacewell?
Here.
President Bing?
Here.
Trustee Agee?
Here.
Trustee Wolford? Here. Trustee Canal? Mr. Henry?
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we can get going. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving on to the minutes. These are the minutes of the business meeting from April 22nd. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, next are the bills. So we have Cordray Brothers for $385. Premier Landscape Store, $96. Surf Internet, $71.04. Strand and Associates, $1407.62 and $682.70. Nicor, $59.82. $165.14. $54.53. ComEd, $1859.29. Ace Hardware, $834. Hawkins Chemicals, $363.19. Boone County Journal, $60. And International Code Council, $405. Those are the building code books, okay? Total is $5617.97, of which $4284.25 will come out of the general fund and $1333.72 will come out of water and sewer. Any questions or comments? Can I have a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee McMahon? Trustee Lacewell?
Aye.
President Bing?
Aye.
Trustee Agee?
Aye.
Trustee Wolford? Aye. Trustee Canal? Trustee Lopez?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next, public comments. No public comments, okay. Old business, update everybody on the 173 project. The open house was held on Wednesday. It was well populated. They had everything pretty well laid out about how they're gonna do parking spaces and lighting and all that kind of good stuff, and road elevations, etc. And we were told that the village is now not going to be responsible for any of the cost of the entire project. That includes storm sewers, sidewalks, lighting, parking spaces, everything. So they are going to take care of it 100%, which is gonna save us a lot of money. So I'm kinda glad to hear that. The timeline they're saying is 27, 28. The way I talked, the people I talked to said they haven't even started land acquisition yet for the widening of the roads, and they said that's a 2-year process. They still have engineering and stuff to do, so I don't know, we'll see what the timeline is. But the fact that we don't have to pay for anything on that project means we will have more money for our water main when the time comes, so that's the good news, okay? Next would be the Sickage annual agreement. There's a couple of parts to it. It's pretty standard stuff. They did raise their rates, but not to the point where I would want to look for a different accounting firm. They raised them like $5 here and $5 there, but not across the board. So it isn't going to cost us that much more than it did. We've been using these people since I've been here in office, and they do good work for us. They update the things, they work with us, they answer questions, they help out with the annual audit that we have from the state, and I would recommend that we approve this document. So can I have a motion to approve the document?
I'll make a motion to approve the document.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
I think we should do a roll call on this.
There.
Yes.
The motions also include authorizing you to sign.
Yeah, oh, okay, and authorize me to sign it?
Yes.
Okay. Got that?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I still approve.
Okay, can I do a roll call, please?
Trustee Lacewell?
Aye.
President Bing?
Aye.
Trustee Agee?
Aye.
Trustee Wolford?
Aye.
Trustee Canal? Trustee Lopez?
No.
Okay, the motion passes. Thank you. Next, this is the agreement with Assession, for the annual audit for the state of Illinois. Again, we've been using these people for at least the last 4 years. Every time we use them, it gets easier. They know us, we know them. They understand the requirements, the extra requirements that the USDA has placed on us for audit reporting. They were recommended originally by Sikich. They have a working contract, they have a working relationship with them, and we have a working relationship with them now. And it's a pretty standard document. There's nothing in here that's gonna cause us any harm. It's basically the same as it was last year, and I want to recommend that we approve this. So can I have a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion.
And I'll sign it, okay? Hold on. Yes.
Sorry, Mayor. Yeah, I think they're saying it's a not to exceed of $19,750.
Okay,
There should be a motion, that should be
all
included.
right, so let's include that. We'll make a motion to up to
$750.
$19,750 and my signature. Okay, can I have a second?
I will second it.
Okay, can I have a roll call, please?
President Bing?
Aye.
Trustee Ajit?
Aye.
Trustee Wolford?
Aye.
Trustee Pennell? Trustee Lopez?
Aye.
Trustee McMahon? And Trustee Leesville?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, motion passes. Next here, we have this certificate for Clearwater. We talked about that if any new construction or any home that's for sale that's going to transfer deed, that there needs to be an inspection to verify that there's no illegal hookups to our water or wastewater systems. And other organizations do this, other municipalities do this. It's a nominal fee for the homeowner, and this way we can slowly but surely verify that we don't have any illegal hookups into the sewer, wastewater system with sump pumps, et cetera, and everything's up above board. Tom Green looked this over. In fact, he put it together. Everything on it was acceptable. It references the correct documentation, and Crystal put together the application, the certification form, and I feel it's got everything in it that needs to be. So does our attorney. So I would recommend that we pass this as is. Okay, so can I have a motion to approve ordinance number 25-5, amending municipal code chapter 8, chapter 3 sewer and water?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 25-5.
Okay, can I have a second?
I'll second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Ajit?
Aye.
Trustee Wolford?
Aye.
Trustee Pennell? Trustee Lopez?
No.
Trustee McMahon? Trustee Leesville?
Aye.
President Bing?
Aye. Okay, the motion passes, thank you. Next on here is the quote for the 59 manhole covers that we have to replace. This is the quote for $10,354.36, but we are only going to approve $9,853. The rest of this stuff on here is deemed extra, that we don't need it this time. If we need it later on, we can get it. So I would ask for a motion to approve the quote from Core and Main for $9,853.
But if we need it later on and have to order it, wouldn't it just behoove, it's less than $500, wouldn't it just behoove us to have it
Well,
on
it
hand
would
in
be,
case we
but-
need it?
You know, I was just thinking we don't have to spend it if we don't have to spend it. I'll leave that up to you guys, whether we should order the extra stuff on here or not.
I agree with Rachel.
I mean, because I'd hate us to get into a problem and actually have to have it, and
For that small amount, and then.
it's not like it's double the
Okay, all right,
price.
then I'll accept the motion to approve the quote as is.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. All right, next on here is the lagoon. As you know, we have to replace the cover, okay? The quote here is for $44,055.88. That includes delivery and installation, and it's coming from Arizona. There are very few companies that make these things anymore. The only other one I found around was in Minnesota, and they were more expensive than this was by a lot. We verified this with our engineering firm and the IEPA, and the material meets the requirements. And this is quoted exactly as we need it, with drain holes in it and everything else. So, there's a 2-week lead time on this. We have not removed the sludge yet from the pit, because if we have to get down there with equipment to do it, and we accidentally punch a hole in the bottom of the existing liner, we're gonna have a real problem on our hands with the EPA. So what I wanna do is I wanna have this on site with the installation crew, and then they can clean it out and put the cover on so that we don't have an issue later on.
And you said
And
you're
this is
putting
a
this
20
rate on top of
and
the
this,
old
yes,
line?
and this is a 20-year warranty for this product. So hopefully in 20 years, we can figure out a way not to have to use it anymore, but in the meantime, it needs to be done. As I stated before, the bottom of this pit is 130 feet above our aquifer. So if it isn't taken care of, it's gonna cause us a problem that I really don't wanna get into. I request a motion to approve the $44,055.80 for the replacement of the lagoon liner.
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, can I have a roll call on this one?
Trustee Wolford?
Yes.
Trustee Panel? Trustee Lopez?
Yes.
Trustee McMahon? Trustee Lacewell?
Aye.
President Bain?
Aye.
Trustee G.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. I got the message board on here because I still think it's something that we could do. I can explain it, but I want to wait till I get to that point in the agenda to explain why I think we can afford to do both. But I just wanted to leave these quotes in here. And personally, I still like the one I got the quote for $12,485, which is the pedestal two-sided with 8 lines on it. I just wanted to keep that alive for right now, so we'll just pass it over, okay? Next is the
Hey, Steve,
solicitation. Pardon? Yeah,
Question. If you're wanting this one,
yeah,
then I'm requesting that we get quotes for installation since that's not included.
okay, all right, we can do that. Next is the solicitation permit application. We talked about that we need to have a way somehow to control the door-to-door salespeople in town. We can't deny them access as a general because that's not constitutional. So we have to have something, some system in place. So Tom Green gave us some examples of McChesney Park and a couple of other places. So Crystal and I kind of gleaned over everything, and I think some of you people did too. And Crystal kind of put together this document incorporating some of the things that I think we need to be in there, like a no-knock list and an updated the application form with additional information on it with supervisors and company phone numbers and all that stuff, and rules and regulations for how they have to conduct themselves, etc. And I want to know if we should turn this over to Tom Green and actually turn it into a resolution or an ordinance so that we could pass it.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
For the do knock knock registry.
Yeah.
I know that they can call Crystal and request to be put on that.
Yes.
But some people don't watch the meetings. So would we put it on the back of the water bill, but then some people don't turn in their water bills? Like I don't turn in mine, I pay mine online. Or would we mail out, do you want to be on it, do you not want to be on it?
That's gonna be, that's something we can discuss. I know sending out a mailing is expensive.
Yes,
okay?
it is.
I think if we posted it in a couple of conspicuous places, like at Sunrise, maybe a notice to say we have a no-knock list, or maybe at Casey's, and put it on our Facebook page and see what we get. I can't make what I feel like is a extraordinary effort for people that don't want to either come to the meeting or watch it or not look at our webpage. So I think if we do that, we'll just see what we get. And if people call and complain then we can let them know that we have a no-knock list and you need to get your name on it.
Okay, so instead of the mailing, can Crystal put it on the back of the water
I can put
bills?
it right on the front of it.
Or
Yeah,
front or
yeah.
back?
We could probably put some blurb on there.
I can't do it
okay?
next month, but I
Yeah.
can do it the month after.
That's,
Okay.
well, we haven't even
All
sent
right,
it.
but in the meantime, I want you to authorize me giving this to Tom to turn into a legal document.
I think we
Okay,
should
so
turn it on.
can I have a motion to upgrade the solicitation document that's sitting in front of you?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a
I'll
second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we will do that. Okay. Next, I want to talk about the playground. I had a meeting this morning with the Belvedere Park District and the Conservation District again, and I think we've come to a consensus that this is going to be a good idea for both the Village of Capron and the Conservation District. And I got some insights from the Belvedere Park District actually to what is involved in this. I asked them, I said, one of their smaller parks, because that's kind of what we're looking at, how much time do they spend on that in a month? And they said about a half an hour. So that's basically it. What we would have to do is we would have to send Mike Munger, our Public Works guy, to a class to be certified to do playground inspection, because Belvedere does their own and we can do our own, okay? And he gave me some names of a couple of companies that sell used commercial playground equipment. And I took a look online, and there's one called New Toy, and they've got like swing sets with like 5 or 6 swings on them for $5,000. They've got a jungle gym for $5,000. They've got a couple of other pieces that are all under $5,000. And there's a footprint that you have to go through. There's a, like the playground is laid out so that the swing set gets its own space, and the teeter-totter gets its own space, so they're not running into each other. So based on the amount of space that you have to have around this equipment will determine how much we can put in there, all right? I discussed the fact that, you know, we could do something similar to what we did with the Lions Club with their sign and lease the property from them, all right? And then we would take it over. So they said installation of the equipment is about 40% of the cost of more, 40% more. So if we spent $20,000, it would probably cost us another $40,000 or so, $4,000 or so to have it all installed properly by the contractor. So I think all told, we're probably talking something in the neighborhood of $25,000 to $30,000 to put together a playground on that property, including a couple of picnic tables and garbage cans and stuff like that. I think it'll serve 2 purposes, or actually more than 2 purposes. I think it'll give the kids on the south side of 173 a place to go. It'll give the people who are using the bike path a place to stop and maybe access the businesses that we have in town, like Utterly Delicious and Roses, etc. And I just think it'll enhance the village as a whole and give us something to do. So he's gonna take that back. That's gotta be approved by their board. So he's gonna take it back, and this basically right now, we're just doing informational stuff. But the reason I think we can do both the sign and the playground is we have the funds for this, okay? And I'll explain it like right now when we get done here.
How did we figure out about the insurance for in case
We
anybody
talked to
gets hurt?
RMA, and insurance is very reasonable.
It's like
okay?
$127 extra a year.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not a
that's
lot
not
of
bad
money,
then,
okay?
okay.
So we can do that. Maintenance
What was that,
is,
Matt?
Who's the one leasing it? Would it be the village or the conservation?
we will totally be responsible for the whole thing, okay?
So-
They'll lend us the land, we take care of the rest, okay?
So it would be us if someone gets hurt, then they'd go after.
That's why you have
That's
insurance.
what the insurance is for.
I was just trying to get up to date on it.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Yeah,
wanted to
no,
make sure we get
Yeah, I didn't
insurance.
know if, since whoever leases it would be the one responsible, that's all.
Yeah, it would be on the village,
All right.
okay?
Could
So
you-
we're gonna be responsible for the insurance, we're gonna be responsible for the required inspections, maintenance if it is all required, all that's gonna be on the village, okay? But if you look at it, if we were to have to buy a piece of property and then do this, it's probably gonna cost us $25,000 more than if we could use the property that's already there, just sitting there. So I just think it's a good idea that we can do that, and I'll get into why I think we can do this, like right now. Trustee Kopaz, you got anything?
No.
Okay, trustee McMahon's not here. I'm gonna do the financial report, because she's not here. So, first of all, I wanna let you know that this report represents the end of fiscal year 2025. So, we're closing the books on fiscal year 2025. The new year started on May 1st. So, the results of our budget for the fiscal year 2025, we added a surplus on the administrative side, which is administrative and streets, okay? We had a surplus of $211,492.56. So if we took $50,000 of that and did the stuff that I think we want to do, I mean, we ended up with a surplus, and if all things are equal, next year we will too. MFT, we had a deficit of $59,425.35, but that was planned. So that's not a big deal to me, okay? Water, wastewater surplus, we had a surplus of $73,387.12, and that's cutting it a little thin, so that's why we did the rate increase, so that should be okay, all right? So based on those numbers, if everything is equal for fiscal year 2026, we should be able to handle the two projects that I would like to do, okay? But we're not there yet. All right, so going through the project, through the report, the treasurer's report, in the general fund, we have $1,304,127.01. In the MFT, we have $149,782.14. And in the water fund, we have $689,895.59. Okay, those numbers are all up from the previous month. Okay, when it comes to administrative income, we budgeted, where am I? We budgeted $560,600. We actually took in $613,983.61, or 109% of what we estimated. Okay, salaries for elected and our insurance. We budgeted $41,400. We actually spent $37,491.95, or 90%. Okay. When it comes to the administrative expense, which is sickage and Bear Switzer and everything else that goes along with running the actual town, all right, we budgeted $257,400. And, I'm sorry, $250,900, and we actually spent $230,190.56, or 92%. When it comes to streets or public works, the expense was budgeted for $150,200, and we ended up spending $134,898.53, or just under 90%. And under MFT, we budgeted $57,500 for income. We actually took in $65,574.65 for just over 114%. And the expenses, we budgeted $125,000, we spent $125,000, or 100%. On the water wastewater side, we budgeted for income, we budgeted $660,500. We took in $662,611.59, or just barely over 100%. On the water side for expenses, we budgeted $332,000. We spent $292,475.06, or 88%. And on the wastewater side, we budgeted $331,500, and we spent $296,750.41, or 89%. So basically, our incomes were over budget, and all of our expense categories were under budget, which obviously led us to have the surplus that we did. Okay, so do I have any questions or comments? Can I have a motion to approve the financial report?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Since Glenn's not here, I'm gonna do the water report. We're working on repairs for a leak at well number 3, and I want to explain this to you because this is gonna get a little scary. The main connection that comes off the well housing sprung a leak, okay? The threads on the connection have disintegrated, and it is no longer sealed the way it needs to be. At first, we thought we could just replace that part, but the threads, and I'm gonna pass a piece of paper both ways so you can kind of take a look. The threads on the components are worn to a point where neither end is usable, male or female, so they both have to be replaced. The problem is the female end, the part that that pipe screws into, cannot be welded on because it is cast iron, and you cannot weld cast iron. It just won't happen, okay? So they're gonna have to replace a portion of the wellhead and that pipe. I asked for the pipe, it's on the truck, I'll get it, I'll have it here for next week so you can take a closer look at it. Unfortunately, if we were looking at welding this, I could probably get it done for $25,000, but the estimate on this could run as high as $100,000, okay? We don't know what caused this. We don't know if this was a bad installation. We don't know if this was caused by the ground causing the material to fail prematurely. We don't know if there's something inside the well with wiring and stuff that has caused some electrolysis to cause this to happen. I don't know if the material that was spec'd out was proper. All these things, but the bottom line is the warranty on this work was a year old, and this stuff has been in the ground for 6, so it is no longer in warranty. So we are still doing an investigation to determine what has caused this problem. In the meantime, what I have told them to do is I told them to put the new connection together. It's still gonna leak, okay? But we have to have well number 3, okay? In case something happens to well number 2, we have to have well number 3 online. And so that's what we're gonna do, and we're just gonna handle it. The parts for the repair have a 10-week lead time, so I'm hoping sometime in the next 10 weeks we can, between engineering and the contractor, that we can figure out what happened here and find out what avenue we have to go through to either recoup some expenses or just have to deal with it and deal with it as we can. That's all I can say on that. It's gotta get fixed, there's no ways around it. Yep.
Can I ask a question? Do you have
Yeah.
an estimate of how much water we're losing each
We were
day?
using, that was leaking 30 to 40,000 gallons.
Each day, or?
Each
Oh,
day.
wow, okay.
It's a major problem, okay? I mean, it was shooting out. When they dug it up, it was like jets of water coming out of it. It was pretty bad. So we're gonna put it together the best we can and get the parts in here, and we'll see what happens. They emailed me a little while after we had the conversation, and they think they came up with a solution that will kind of be halfway, okay? So maybe it'd be closer to $50,000 than $100,000, but it is what it is. We have the money in the account to fix this, so we're just gonna have to deal with it and figure it out, okay? So, does anybody got any questions, anything they want me to ask, anything that I might have left out? Okay, I'll keep you abreast of this as we get the information, okay? Hydrant flushing has been completed, and the lift station cleaning has been completed. So, other than that, that's all I got. So, anybody got anything?
We wanna go
You
back to.
forgot Rachel.
And,
Oh,
And
Rachel,
Rachel.
I forgot Rachel. Oh, Rachel.
and Charles.
The flower pots that are in downtown, they used to have a family that did it. Since then, both family members have passed away. And I would like to be able to go and ask the businesses in town for donations towards those flower pots. I would also like to be approved for $250 if we don't have any of the businesses donate, or up to $250 with what the businesses donate, plus what's in our miscellaneous fund, to do the flower pots downtown.
Okay. So can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you. Anything else? Linda?
No, nothing at this
Okay.
time.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.